What's the difference between active and passive investing? Well, as the name implies, active investing has a manager that will take an active role in the configuration of the underlying portfolio. Sometimes they'll buy or sell or decide which sector of the world or of the product or of the different commodities that they're putting into the portfolio, so to try to eke out a better performance. Sectors versus maybe they'll go into consumer or into energy or into tobacco or to biotech, and they can go in and out, and that's active management. And an example of a company that grew up with doing that was Fidelity. Fidelity grew from a relatively small company into a very large company that it is today, headquartered out of Boston. Wonderful company, great products. Historically, they were an active management company. Okay, along comes a competitor, and it was Vanguard, and what their philosophy was is, let's just attach our products to underlying indexes and keep our costs really low. We don't have to hire the superstar manager. We're not going to try to beat the market. We're going to try to meet the market. And so therefore we ended up with a big battle of our age of active versus passive, which you can think of two of the larger companies in this. There's lots of companies that do this, but for our example, let's just say it's Fidelity versus Vanguard. Both great companies, both very successful, and there's not a right answer which is better. Passive investing has outperformed recently, but that's partly because of cost, taxes, and transaction costs. It's hard for an active, once you include those factors, to overcome a passive fund. But there are a lot of cases where it's worked out very well. When you get a superstar manager that is calling the right shots, it can be very, very effective. But it's hard to find those managers, and it's hard to find if they're consistently outperforming the market. And how do you distinguish luck versus performance? Anyway, so back to active versus passive. It's a great way to have both in your portfolio, maybe one or the other. It's up to you to manage your portfolio. What's happened is mutual funds have democratized investing for the normal small investor, and what passive investing has done is it's really lowered the cost. So both of them have brought tremendous value to the individual investor. So in summary, active versus passive. Passive tends to rely on an underlying index. Active tends to allow the manager to ebb and flow the investments to try to beat the market. And those are two concepts that work very well. And that is the primary difference between active and passive investing. So thank you for taking the time to watch today. Thank you.